Okay, this video, we're doing a 2013 Mini, and just so you know, we're doing it because we made a key with ACDP and it didn't work. I handed the modules off to my cohort. He went back to the Mini and it didn't work. And I'll cut right to the chase. We're not really sure if it was the key or what was going on. I'm kind of thinking it was the key. We'll go through the steps on how to do this. And just so you know, the Mini keys and the BMW keys are pretty much the same. The only difference is they have a different shell on them. So, okay, first thing first, we have to read the ISN from the DME. And this is this is how we do it with AVDI. Hopefully we're going to connect to the server. Ooh, look at that. Okay, now we're going to select Mini Cooper. And seeing as we don't have a CAS module in the circuit, because you can't have a CAS module and a DME hanging on the same thing, we're doing an R, I think it's a 57. Heck, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, it failed to communicate because there isn't one. Okay, so we get there. Let's click scan. And look at that. There's our DME, Digital Motor Electronics. So now we're going to go down to keys and start synchronization. We're going to go to ISN codes. And we are going to go to the ISN in the DME. Is it replaced? No, actually it's not. So it's going to go through. It's going to read. And this is going to take a little while. I mean, it's got a lot of data that it has to process. This isn't like the old days. Back in the old days, that, you had what? 4-bit ISN. And basically, you would read the MS-45 and it was right there in one of the lines of code. It wasn't that big of a deal. Nope. Now you've got a flash, an external and internal flash. You got all kinds of crap in these things. And if you're wondering why they have progressed to going from, just an EEPROM and a flash or something like that to all the different chips with the different sectors and internal flash and external flash and blah, blah, blah. Why? Well, mainly to keep people like you and me from hacking in and getting the info. So, just so you know, that's the reason. I know a lot of people are kind of pissed off that AVDI has gone online with BMW. And you know what? If you're doing an old one, yeah, you can do it offline. It's not the end of the world. That's why they brought that back. But when you're trying to read something from anything that is, let's say, 2007 and a half, 2008 on up, trust me, your laptop doesn't have the space or the computing power to actually crunch the numbers. There's a big mainframe, great big thing back there in Bulgaria where, I shouldn't say it's a great big thing, it's a great big computer room, and they have some pretty fast blade servers running, and they've got the virtuals cranked up. The biggest issue is the bandwidth between Bulgaria and wherever you are. And yeah, I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but hey, that's what I'm doing. Why? Because it takes a lot of time to send that data from here over to Bulgaria, check it, do the CRC, send it back. It takes a while. So it's at 40%. Tell you what, I'm going to shut this off until it gets up, you know, right about 90%, and then I'll start it back up. Okay, I lied. Darn thing actually got to 50%, and then it read the ISN. So if you're smart, unlike old guys like me, you will actually take a picture of this. And, or if you're really good, you can highlight the darn thing, which usually for me is just about freaking impossible. Let me give you a quick hint. If you go down here, and this is on Windows 7 and up, there's what's called the snipping tool. And what it is it's a little program. You know, it used to be like screenshots, but if you notice, I'm holding my thumb down on the button, and then I am going to go like this. And now when I let off, I've saved a screenshot. And now you can go ahead and call that what you want. I'm going to say Mini ISN ME, I think it's an MEV, 1722. And then if you want, you can put the date. And that way you have a picture of it. Okay, so now that we've got that, we can move on to the fun part of going back here. We're going to actually go all the way back out. And we're going to hook up our CAS, and we're going to go through the process of downgrading the CAS and programming a key. Okay, so we made keys for this 2013, that's actually a BMW cluster, but the CAS behind here, it's a 2013 Mini Cooper. And for some reason, when we did it with ACDP, we could see the keys programmed in, but for some reason, when we put the key in the slot, it's not seeing it. So we're going to use a Britus and see if we can make it work this way. We'll see. Give us about 10 minutes and we'll come back. And right now what it does is, seeing as this is ACDP 45, it is downgrading the flash of the CAS module so that we can program keys to it. So we shall see. Okay, we're getting done with programming part 1. Okay, we're gonna finish the programming and then we'll start on part 2. This is where you usually cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross your nose hairs if you got them, even your ear hairs, whatever, if you're an old guy. Cross your legs, because you might be looking for new underwear when this thing, if it freaks out. But hopefully, ooh, look at that. Finish programming. Now we're going to go for part 2. That's always a good step. So it's downloading part 2. Now we're programming. And this will usually take a while. Actually, what usually happens is downloading and programming part 1 is what takes a long time. Because that's the flash. That's the big part. So now, yep, we're erasing the flash. That's always scary. It's like, did you make a backup? Okay, so here we go. We've got It said 28, now it says 7. So we'll start this back up in a few minutes when it gets up to about done. Okay, so we're back. We're doing programming part 2, upload complete, finish programming. And just so you know, if you look at the time it took to do this, you know, it takes a little bit. I mean, for one thing, I'll tell you right now, make sure you have good internet. If you have screwed up internet, you're screwed. That's all I can tell you. I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I do not do these in the car. I take them out, I bring them back to the shop where I have good internet, and I do this here. Because I have seen nothing but problems when you don't do that. Okay, so now it has gone through, and hopefully now we're going to go into key mode. It's trying. Come on, baby, you can do it. Okay. We actually don't have a key. Okay. So, just so you know, if you go down here, you can see BMW remote and remote. Okay. So, we're going to program a key. Yes. I'm going to shut this off for a second so I can write. Okay, so I named it a name. Now I'm going to save it. Okay. Oh, I forgot. First you have to select a position. So I'm going to go to position 7, and I'm going to program a key there. We've already done that. So I've got a 7936 chip in there. And I think what I'm going to have to do is I am going to stop. I'm going to put in my ISN, and then we'll go further. Okay, so we've typed in our 32 digits. Now we're going to click OK. It says no key detected, but we do have a 7936 in there. Oh shit, let's get another key. Okay, so we grabbed a key real quick and we threw it in here, and now we have our position 7 now has a BMW remote. Yes, I know this is a Mini, but what we're going to do, we're going to go back, and like I said, yeah, it's a Mini CAS module, but I don't have a Mini simulator. I got a BMW one, so that's what we're using. So I'm going to take the key out of the package and put it in there and see what happens. Okay, so I put the key in there. Guess what? Bing, bang, boom. That baby's firing up. Now, when we go back here, we go back to CAS keys. Okay. Let's see what happens. I don't know why it's trying to enter key mode. But we do have a key that's programmed in now. So now that we have that, That is key 7. Okay, so now we're actually going to go back, and we're going to go back couple, just so that I'm going to put that in there. Not going to turn it on. Well, I guess we'll turn it on. And now when we click on keys and start synchronization, see what it says up there? Key 7 in ignition. So we know we have one programmed in. So now that we've done that, we can go look at our ISN codes and make sure everything's right.